away from my normal family. And so, you know, just a lot of changes have to be made. And it is what it is, you know. I'm glad that I can even have a little bit of free time to be able to, you know, do this and that sort of thing. And you can, you know, still look back at this week and be like, okay, well, we made a path this week already, and we were able to restock Slip's Terracotta. So yeah, I mean, there's good things, and last night's stream was a really good thing too. And don't get me wrong, I'm very lucky to have my job and whatnot. But again, you know, sometimes you would just wish that when you feel like you're doing all the right things, that things would work out in the long run. And I don't think many people know this, besides if you've really watched through the Minecraft, the hardcore kingdom. But I'm a religious studies major, and part of my, like, who I am is based on coming to, you know, certain faith-related understandings about how I like to look at the world and how I act within it, if that makes sense. And so as a result, you know, it really can be difficult to be like, man, I can't do it all. And so, you know, it goes back to Inca Raids and I's conversation last night, because, you know, I've been feeling so much more comfortable and able to be who I am, kind of unfiltered, through doing this, and it's been really great to be exactly who I am and that sort of thing. But Inca made a really good point last night, and he was saying that everyone still has, you know, when they're streaming, some sort of like lens or like veil behind them. And, you know, he spoke personally that eventually through streaming a ton, he ended up feeling like, you know, there was always some sort of degree of imposter syndrome, or not imposter syndrome, but like almost like code switching and that sort of thing that ended up wearing at him. And I told him that I would keep him up to date on how that will be for me and that sort of thing. But I also feel like I've been, you know, as I said earlier, like, this is exactly who I am and that sort of thing. And I think that this is a good example of like, all right, well, not everything can be dandy and perfect. You know, there are still little things to be grateful for about getting to hang out. And I looked back at stream last night and I was like, look at this. Like, you know, I did get to do something that I really wanted to do for a little bit. And that's great. But sometimes when you're accustomed to, and you want more, I would say, sometimes in a selfish, egotistical sense, or just in a balanced sense, because you can't just, you know, give and give and give and give and that sort of thing in order to be good for the world. And in my personal opinion, I think that you also have to be good for yourself. You know, you have to also have self-care and that sort of thing. And so, you know, this is what has been it, which is interesting. And that's kind of been my reflection on, like, well, do I feel like I'm code switching in that sort of thing? I feel like, if I'm being honest, it might be the opposite for me. And I could be unique in that because I'm an elementary school teacher. So, like, most of my day is putting on the brightest, most energetic personality possible, if that makes sense. And it, you know, most teachers would tell you how draining it can be just to be have to be so you know, on top of and responsive to the needs 24/7, and be able to provide the energy no matter where you're at in order to get the kids excited and have a wonderful learning outcome, which, you know, again, this is it's a very selfless profession. There is a lot of giving there, and one thing that is very important within being within, like, teacher, I guess, self-care and that sort of thing is being able to take that self-care But I think that even from afar, most people know that many teachers aren't provided as much opportunity for self-care, especially nowadays. And I think that when something has to be said to so many people at such a great quantity, I think it also represents the fact that it's not actually being delivered, if that makes sense. Like, another a good example or analogy that I've talked about when in a similar sort of sense, oh, I forgot my train of thought, man. But anyway, I wanted to share with you guys where I'm at and that sort of thing, but I also, you know, in a brighter sense, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer and that sort of thing. I really do get a lot of joy and fulfillment out of doing this. I think that when I say it, I really do mean it in like such a genuine sense. This is the little time that I do have right now, and this is how I want to spend it. Gotta hit replay. Just getting a little bit of work done and getting to connect with you all a little bit. So, thanks so much for hanging out a little bit tonight, and I guess I may be having to become a streamer in order to get that community connection. I'm joking. I'm a video first sort of guy, but I think I just really need to figure out a transition point. I've been so wiped. You know, again, this is the first week of school, so all the routines still have to be set in place and that sort of thing, and there's a lot of back-end work that you have to do at first. So I know that things will change, and it won't be like this forever. And I'll be excited to continuing to bite it at the bit in a sense that I'll have more time to do so. I'm gonna continue to be as consistent as I can, and we'll make sure that we have Q&A videos coming out as well and that sort of thing. But man, you know, there's a lot of value actually that you can take from being consistent and making the best work that you can every single week, and pushing yourself to do that and being proud of yourself for the product. And I just wish I had the time for it. It's you know, it's a total bummer for me. It really is. I think this might be a pretty decent little layout there. Maybe I am getting a little bit better at building while rambling. Who knows? But let me take a look at chat. You guys always brighten my day. Hey, Break the Net, thanks so much for hopping in stream, man. And yo, this is my main channel. Yeah, this is my main channel. This is where I do most of the stuff, but I have a Q&A on my second channel. And then if you ever miss stream, I have a VOD on my third channel too. I think that now is just about time for us to reach in here and turn around the evening. Yeah. Okay, because if I'm being honest, you know, let's do a quick frame shift. I have so much to be thankful for as well. I mean, I have been doing my best. I'm not going to jinx anything, but I've been doing my best at the things I've been doing, and it seems like the reception has been... Yeah, we'll go here. I'm not going to talk about the reception, but like, you know, I guess it's something to be grateful for. Like, I'm putting in a lot of work right now, but at least I can see why it's necessary, although it can be so draining. And it's good to be pushed in a new direction, although I'm a big believer in the stress bell curve, and when you're working within your like ideal stress kind of like zone, I would say, then like that's when you learn the best and like are most able to excel in that sort of thing. And then you can have like a chronic stress overload, which afflicts at least so many Americans in particular, right? But, you know, I can be grateful to see why I've been needing to do that. And if I hadn't been making the sacrifices that I have been able to, or have been recently, then I wouldn't be doing it right in terms of like, once again, putting my best foot forward with everything that I am doing. But again, you know, it kind of stinks, the fact that when you're doing your best to do those sorts of things, not everything always works out. I would say. But besides that, I mean, I would also say the highlight of my week, maybe, you know, both times, has just been being able to have these little moments with you guys where I can kind of just get a little bit of work done and show you how things are coming together. I think that this lake area is really gonna tune out well, and kind of just be able to be myself for a second. And it's interesting, you know, I'm quite an introverted person, like, you know, generally speaking, but I work such a social job, you know, I am talking all of the time. But I've never really been the person that, like, to recharge whatsoever, I start talking. Like, I'm always the person that's like, nope, I'm gonna, like, watch videos or just, like, not have to think about things and, like, zone and have some music, or, like, usually play Minecraft and that sort of thing and really get into it. But I don't know why, you know, after working, you know, again, 39 hours in the last 3 days, what I've been doing with the only little bits of spare time has been doing extra talking after talking all day. Which, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. And I will say, you know, another good thing to be grateful for is that I think a lot of you guys that stream probably know how exhausting it can also be at the same time. It's almost like I don't feel it until I feel it during the stream, and then I'm like, okay, I can't get anything more done at the moment. I'm just out of social battery. So it'll still run out, I would say, but I think it's really kind of just like an interesting thing. The fact that, you know, as an introvert at heart, the one thing that I can look back on and be like, man, you know, the best part of my week has been, like, streaming and, you know, chit-chatting with you guys, that sort of thing. So I hope that you guys have been enjoying the streams. It's nice to, I think it's an extra push to be able to just get a little bit of extra work done. And that, you know, I was just thinking intentionally when it came to, like, okay, how am I going to make this new schedule work and still be able to make as much content as I can within a realistic balance to put my best foot forward with everything else that I'm doing. And although it kind of stinks, if I'm being honest, and I'll have to work it out somehow. I mean, until December, Saturday is my only day off. Like, I won't have 2 days off in a row until December. Oh man, it's a lot. It really is a lot. But I don't even know where. It's a lot, y'all. Sometimes you kind of just have to be okay with stepping up to the plate. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe it's just worth describing really quickly what I'm doing. Kind of, if you watch the path building stream on Sunday, kind of in the same sort of way that I like to fill out these more like these steeper pathways that maybe cut a little bit into the terrain. I kind of just mess around with these different slabs in the same way. I kind of just work one at a time and try to figure out things. And you know, I did put out with base kind of layout with the shovel beforehand. But it's okay if you kind of mess around with it. You know, under the water, no one's going to really realize anything. And when it comes together with a little bit of humming and hawing and that sort of thing, as it always does, you end up coming out with a pretty cool bake. And I don't know, I feel like you can kind of just do it mindlessly. It's, once again, the theme of tonight's stream is just time. You know, you don't have to be too intentional about it. Might do an andesite slab right there, but you really don't have to think too much about doing it. And these little things that you do can just really make all of the difference when it comes to, you know, just giving extra life to the area. Yeah, this is the main channel. I'm sorry I'm not a bigger YouTuber. Yes. Oh man, it feels good to laugh, y'all. I cried on the way home. Just been overwhelmed. I was like, okay, this is... You know what, I'm gonna hop onto stream. Let's go with stone bricks now. Keep layering this in. Oh man, I did forget too. I don't think he's in here. Do any of you guys know Is Kevin? Is Kevin. He's a cool YouTuber. He does like tons of different 100 days videos. And I really liked his content. I've been watching him for like over a year or so. And we chit chat back and forth and that sort of thing. And he's doing some sort of like 100 player war civilization event. And he just Discord messaged me and was like, let's do it. Like, do you want to join? I'm like, I'm so down. I've seen those videos so many times, you know, even from him and that sort of thing. So that, I think that'd be a total blast to do. But I don't know if I have time for it. Like, man, you know, just not having enough schedule to get an upload out this week and that sort of thing, then I can't do another 24-hour night on Friday, y'all. It's just, that's not going to be sustainable. As much as I can be hard-headed, it's just, you know, I can't do that every Friday after the sorts of weeks that I'm putting in at the moment. I'm already pretty burnt to a crisp. Can't do too much more like that. I don't know. You know, who knows? Sometimes it's very important to, as we all know, to say yes to the opportunity when it arises from time to time. Although I can be bad at that when it comes to putting it in action myself. But I don't know. There's a wonderful book. I don't know if it's necessarily appropriate, but it's by Mark Manson, and the idea is really saying yes to the things that you care about the most, and saying no to everything else. And that's not. It's a very American idea. I guess it's one that I've definitely used plenty of times before. And I definitely subscribe to it to some sort of degree or another. But, you know, it has its flaws as well, I would say. Sometimes it's important to have balance in everything. You know, moderation in everything, including moderation. So, we'll figure it out. And once again, everything is enthralling as well. It's so fulfilling. As I was saying earlier, I'm definitely hitting the hay really hard. I just need a little bit more time to sleep. Which is why I'm... Oh, man. I might be okay with that, honestly. Maybe we'll keep it there for a second. We're almost there, filled in. Now it's time to come in with a little bit of stone, I think, too. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. And so, yeah, it's... you know, it's important for me to, as I was saying on last night's stream, actually to get off at the right time, because I'm seeing how important sleep is for me right now. You know, as a teacher, once again, having that self-care, being able to take a little bit of time for yourself is very important for the vitality. And it's a struggle. Sometimes it can be a struggle to get everything done. Yeah, Cobb, I understand that. I was kind of thinking about that when it came to different strategies and that sort of thing as well. I mean, one thing that I do have kind of going for me, here's how I'm looking at things in a positive sense, okay? This is important to say. Because, you know, nothing... Change is the only constant in life, in my personal opinion. That's not a slip. Came up with quote. I heard it at some point in time, but change is the only constant, and so nothing lasts forever. And that's hard to, you know, sit with. You know, and you don't have to agree with me, but that's just how I feel personally. And, you know, that can be really positive at times, and that can be really negative at times, and I think it relates to the yin and yang of life in the way that you can't appreciate the good things in life without the bad things, and change is what brings both around. Yeah. I think that's pretty... I don't know, I feel like that's pretty profound. So for me personally, I know that I'm going to be, you know, learning a lot and struggling and, you know, once again, as always, putting my best foot forward here. And keeping you guys along for the ride. I'm clearly not going anywhere. It just might be a little bit more time in between uploads and that sort of thing. But the lucky thing for me is that this next episode for me is gonna give me a buffer week, because I'm gonna be making a video for every 7 episodes or so. And this is gonna be episode 7. I mean, it'll be probably a much longer time before the next buffer zone, but I know that your Cobb, your old school series has, I think, 11,000 views on it, and I think many of us know the gravitation of being able to compile things, and it has a twofold purpose, in my personal opinion. You know, not only does it oftentimes do well, but as a viewer myself, it's a really awesome way to kind of an easy way to dig my teeth and really get into watching a full playthrough, which is so exciting to see a world come together. And I know that I'm not alone in feeling that. But on the other hand, you know, for the creator as well, I think, you know, it also serves the purpose of giving you a little bit of breathing time too. Yeah, you know, just an extra little week or that sort of thing. And if you allow yourself to make that compilation as opposed to having to have something novel, then you can have that extra week that gives you a little bit of time to have a buffer period. And that's something that I recommended to Flam a while ago, and he actually ended up using that strategy and has been able to produce many more videos at a really high quality as a result of it. And so definitely you know, a good tip. And so I think that, you know, that also kind of applies to me in a little bit too. The reason being that, and the reason that it reflects on the change is the only constant, in my personal opinion, is that, you know, things are going to be a lot at first. And, you know, it's up for me to weather the storm and see the beauty in it, if that makes sense. And I'm really doing my best out here. I'm really putting my best foot forward, I think. But, you know, I'm going to get everything under my belt. You know, you know, I know that eventually I'll figure out the code, if that if that makes sense, and be able to understand what's demanded of me and know how to schedule my time a little bit more efficiently in order to do those sorts of things, and be able to get back to the pattern of consistency that I've been having and been so enthralled with over the last couple months. And man, you know, I didn't actually end up putting any mossy, like, slabs in there, like mossy cobblestone. But that was pretty, and I'm so happy I was recording the replay mod cinematic. That's funny. So that's what we have right there. And we got our lanterns too. And other times I like to come in here with like packed mud and that sort of thing, but we didn't end up getting to do that. Figured, why don't, you know, we have all this stone stuff right here. This is one of my favorite types of ponds to make as well. Actually, we might... I think I'm okay with having that kind of lead up there too. That's kind of nice. And now it is time for us to maybe clear our inventory real quick and get to putting in some water as well, which I'm excited about doing. And then we can take a little bit of a look back. I don't think I'm going to have time to decorate up the entire area, but, you know, once again, this has been the project since Sunday, and it's Tuesday evening, so we're still getting work done here. I should just make an infinite water source, right? Is there any easy place that I haven't terraformed, really? I run into this problem more often than you guys might think. Because I've always done something around my terrain, and I'm like, oh, I can't put a water bucket anywhere. Every square inch has been kind of utilized in one way or another. I'm gonna be lazy right here, and instead of going and fetching any more water buckets, why don't we head in and we'll make a couple more. Get those guys into our inventory as well. And actually, I'm gonna make a new replay mod cinematic. Give ourselves a little bit more versatility here, and I also do think that that's also kind of like a strategy to help yourself with consistency, or with like, not consistency, with quality in particular, because the more angles that you can get, the more you can, you know, kind of chop up the story that's being portrayed through the different little viewpoints, if that makes sense, which not only brings more to the story, but it also kind of can flesh out a video and give you also a little bit more to work with if you are a little bit more limited on time, just having the extra viewpoint sometimes and being like, okay, well, at least I have more to work with when it comes to this one scene with cinematics. Will give you the ability to, you know, have more within the video, even though you might not have done as much within the video, which is probably a strategy I'm going to try to, I guess, just like apply as soon as I can once I learn efficient systems in order to of like being able to balance all the new things that I'm juggling, if that makes sense. Am I missing one bucket? I mean, we might as well make it efficient out here, right? But I don't know, it's difficult. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do about it yet, if I'm being completely honest. And the reason is, I talked about this, I think, on a recent Q&A, that I think I'm starting to really be happy with quality for me being over everything. And not over everything, I can't say that. That's not exactly true. But if I had to choose between quality and consistency, one second, I need a glass of water. Hey Bash, thanks so much for asking, my man. Unfortunately, well, we're an invite-only SMP. I was very lucky to get in myself. But I appreciate you showing such an interest, I gotta say, and I have such a fun time with everybody on the server. And they're making really cool things. Wait, Cobb, can I go take a look at what you made? I think that'd be fun. I haven't seen it. I feel like I'm not gonna have time. Which is frustrating. Let me take out Rico Suave. Real quick, we're gonna get rid of that lamppost. We're starting to get somewhere. You can see that making a lake with the slabs like this can be a little bit more time consuming. Sometimes it goes just in like that, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I just wasted a water bucket. But it's okay. Because I think the end product that we end up coming out with is absolutely fantastic. And I'm pretty sure, I think for the most part, once I fill in the top kind of like this, I do still think that it fills in a lot. I think I've had success with that in the past. But I also can't be 100% sure, if I'm being honest. Okay. This is where it can get a little bit more time consuming, you could say, but I think, you know, as maybe I'm more used to doing it like this, and so I just don't care as much, but I don't think it's really as tricky unless you're building like a massive lake. Building a massive lake like this can be a little bit frustrating, but it's kind of just finding out where the water needs to come up through trial and error based on like which slab it's on, sort of thing. Sometimes a lot of error. Sometimes it can be difficult, but it doesn't really ever seem to perturb me. I always do say that like doing kind of like terraforming work like this is one of my favorite things to do, and I honestly kind of feel like that almost shows a little bit more now, because years ago, or even, you know, even 6 months to a year ago, I would be too nervous to be able to do this, although this is what I kind of like did the most, if that makes sense. I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to, you know, I'm such a one-track thinker, I can't do both at the same time. That's not going to happen. But we still, I guess we do seem to be making it happen a little bit. Maybe that is one of the blessings in disguise as well when it comes to having to really just be even more efficient with the time that I have. I think we're getting close. It's sneaking up on us. Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. I wonder how many buckets of lava this is taking. Did you guys have any highlights of your day today? I'd love to know. Boom, okay. Such a janky system that I have. I'm sure there's someone out there that just knows a way better way of doing this. But this is the best I got. Hey Shram, what's going on, dude? Thanks so much for popping into stream tonight, my man. Actually, Shram, I've actually been thinking about you in particular when it comes to your upload schedule. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in particular. You know that Cobb and I have been like pretty good about, and BH as well. Really kind of been pounding out like weekly episodes and that sort of thing. And you ended up making a community post the other day about having, you know, sorry about, you know, uploads taking longer and that sort of thing. You know, you've been, I think, under more responsibility, or just time has been harder to find when it comes to your work life and, you know, work-life balance and being able to fit content creation and, you know, making these videos, whether it be time and energy during them and that sort of thing. And so, you know, I'm kind of having to officially, for, you know, at least this little bit in time, be able to take back for the exact same reason, just because work itself is growing too much, and you know, just being able to juggle all the other things and then be able to get to making these videos and that sort of thing. I just know that in order to do it, and, you know, instead of running a marathon at a sprint pace, I have to kind of take a step back. Do you just try to get it out as good as you can when it comes out? Because I feel like for me personally, I'm the type of person to lean a little bit more that way, as opposed to be like, y'all, I don't know what's going on. Just like 1 or 2 blocks, I feel like. I'm the type of person that would also probably be like, that's what I'm gonna shoot for, but within some sort of balance. Because my 100 days as a fisherman video took me 6 months to make, and I'm just not willing to sacrifice that time and connection and community and all that sort of stuff, where I could get more satisfaction out of having, you know, something that's a little bit more consistent but might not be as awesome. But I think that I still want to lean in the direction of valuing the quality and just trying to get it out as, you know, as quickly and consistently as I can. You know, as opposed to the idea of taking like, being like, okay, I'm gonna just change the consistency to a different sort of increment, if that makes sense. Like for me, instead of doing it every week, doing it every 10 days and that sort of thing, which instead of 4 videos a month, it's 3 videos a month. And just like being like, okay, I'm just gonna change my schedule to that, and, you know, make sure that things fall within that timeline. Or, you know, would you maybe lean more in the direction of just tackle the project, and when it's at your level of quality, you know, based on, you know, who you are, whether it be you or me or anybody else that's making content and that sort of thing, just be like, okay, when it's good for me, it's good. Look at it go, man. At the exact same time that it looks like our lake right here has been completed. I mean, a little bit completed. We can take a quick look at it here, and how did a skeleton show up? I don't really have anything I can do about that. Man, I don't like when the song goes on like this. Okay, and I might as well just really quickly, you know, I guess I'm a man of my word, you could say. Hopefully we have flowers in here. And lily pads. Okay, we got 12 lily pads. We're not going to use oak leaves right now, or any leaves. We have bone meal, but I just want the flowers by itself. We got bones itself. Okay. I'm just gonna toss these guys away. Whatever. We got some magma cubes here too. I think I bought those from Cobb. Or maybe I did buy those from Cobb and I never paid him back. Actually, now that I think about that, I can't remember. Oh, there's one more. Oh, dagger. There's one more street. I got fooled, y'all. Oh, that's such a bummer. What if I put a lily pad? What if I put another I can't place him there. I don't have shear. Dude, big ol' bummer. Big ol' bummer. Okay. Yeah. We gotta finish. We gotta fix the last one a little bit. Okay, for you, like 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, I can swing by the base? Just kidding, y'all. We're not gonna decorate the pond right now. I'm gonna scoop that. Yo, I'm so hyped to see this. Okay. We're not gonna throw out our rockets. Shram, are you thinking like 2 to 3 weeks for like a 100 days, or like 2 to 3 weeks when it comes to like a village transformation project, like that sort of thing? I don't know. I don't know if I could do, if I'm just being totally honest, I don't know if I could do 2 to 3 weeks anymore. I don't know. It's just so fun. I mean, unless I just really get so enthralled with streaming. And before we take a look at this, holy, oh my gosh. So much work has been done. I'm hyped. This is so funny to me. We got Cobb holding a miniature slip, holding an oat violation cherry sapling. Very funny, very interesting. But over here, I gotta get off of 6 chunks for this. I mean, it's worth it. We have the start of a city right here. I do love the road that we have. I think that the wall, or the, what do you, oh, I like that. I liked this when y'all did it at Morg's rocket shop too. So we have polished andesite stairs right here, and then they have a wonderful kind of like gutter coming in, as you can see. And it just looks really well and fits in with the black, and of course we have the white with the streets. And one of my favorite things that I got to see this in build school. I'm a lucky guy. This is, oh, and the interiors are done too, dude. Man, worked hard on this. Jeez. I'm very impressed. Yeah, I love the trees that we have right here. Just really well done. They're like perfectly minimalist, but also have like the detail necessary and the greenery that puts this area together, in my personal opinion. Okay. I can't get... Am I not supposed to get in here? Yeah, 100 days is like 2 to 3 months for me nowadays, I think. Hey, Lucia. Yeah, it depends on the size of the project as well. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. You get so much more efficient at being able to make the videos as you do it. So much more time saving and that sort of thing. But yeah, village transformation, 2 to 3 weeks, that makes sense. Let me take another look at chat here. I want to know if I can get into this build. They don't have interiors. Okay. Man, that's funny. I mean, it's still such a grind. That's so funny. I mean, Cobb, it actually does work that it's like blocked off like this. Oh, and we went with, I like the B-dubs windows. I actually didn't really realize that too. Like, it's kind of like it's in construction too with the birch slab or birch planks that we have in there. That's cool, dude. Please tell me that Greg is gonna be in here. Greg has to be in here. That'd be so sick. Nice little... You were the one buying the terracotta, dude. No way! I had no idea. I hope you did. I'm gonna be mad if you collected it. I'm gonna be mad, bro. Cool. I like nice little library area right here. Dude, you better have bought this terracotta for me. I'm gonna be an unhappy man. Oh, we got, yeah. What is this called? Glow lichen? We got glow lichen there. Dude, I want to break the 4th wall and get in here so badly. You have no idea. I also like, for most people on the server, I feel like it'd be more than fine to just have, these trapdoors, or to not have trapdoors here and just have it kind of like blocked off. But we have some members on the server that love to try to like parkour up into any base possible. And so like that actually makes it so that you can't get into it. And as you can see, always more blocks to be placed in this beautiful game, right? That looks cool. Wait, there's like decals on the side too? I like that. I don't know where I saw. I feel like I've seen that before. Like that sort of idea. You've done it really well in here. I like it. I think I know. In build school, where Cobb is building this, there's also the name Cobb stitched into the wall and that sort of thing. I think I'm getting that vibe too, so I was like, this just looks like cool as a nice little accent piece. Y'all, look how nice this base is coming together. Ooh. Okay, we gotta do one more fly through. That, I don't really play with shaders on... or not shaders on, I always play with shaders on. Look at that, with the tavern and everything. Woo! Fly back on through. I mean, I never really played with this render distance. Oh, the hill leading into the bridge over here. You just kind of, if you haven't been to my base before, I feel like if you're playing with shaders, I feel like it's like, whoa. He's done a lot of work over here. Which is definitely true. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave it here for tonight. Gotta make sure that we're prioritizing sleep and the balance, but who knows, we're still working on the intro kind of right now. So my game plan for tomorrow is either to do a little bit of recording and maybe start to get that intro recorded, or maybe I finish up and I show you guys what I'm gonna do to kind of just spice up this area behind us. And then after that, it'll be time to kind of start getting into the meat and potatoes of the video. Which I'm excited. I'm excited. And I really do just want to say really quick, I started, and Cobb knows this probably in particular, I started this stream in a really bad energy. Just feeling kind of defeated. But it's being able to kind of like hang out with you guys and have real interactions, and I don't know, it feels like you guys care, and like that means a lot, and I genuinely care about you guys too, whether it be like just being able to chit chat about the videos and that sort of thing, or have people that are so interested and dedicated when it comes to fitting all of this in, when you know you have family, you have kids, you have significant others, you have full-time work and all of that sort of thing, and being able to take that time to, you know, really bet on other people and support them and that sort of thing. And so thank you for bringing up my spirits tonight. I really mean that. You've got some good progress done as well. Who knows, maybe you guys will see me for Wednesday grinds. Have a wonderful night, y'all.